2024. The theme for February is divine discomfort. Was there a vote? I'm not sure.
We're excited about this, right?
I did not get the vote. The topic for today is lessons in uncomfort-ability. New Thought author Ilana Van Zandt speaks to the importance of trust, embracing discomfort. When we know, believe, and understand that we are individual expressions of God, trusting ourselves and trusting God are the same, and there is no separation. And Neil Donald Walsh wrote, "Life begins at the end of your comfort zone." Let us use the creative power of our words and affirm together. I expand beyond my comfort zone and trust the goodness of the universe to support me. And I introduce Reverend Dr. Kathleen Johnson with comfortability and discomfort.
I know you're so excited about this topic, aren't you? Actually, you're going to find that there's some great value in it, for sure. So there's a little friend here who's visiting me. It's a little beetle up here. I'd like you to follow along with me with some spiritual logic. So here we go. Ready? This is all about trust. If I trust, and you can put yourself in this place, if I trust that there is one universal love intelligence, and I trust that there is an infinite universal law that this love presence works through and as, that's the law of cause and effect, then I realize if this presence is all that there is, then I trust that I am an aspect or an individualization of that presence. Everybody following me along so far? So this is spiritual logic we're using. It's actually Socratic logic is the bottom line. And that thing that we call law is another term for it is energy or the unified field in physics. It surrounds us. It fills us. We as individualizations of the one creator have those capacities to transform these waves of light or energy into form and experience. Everybody still following me? Okay. And so if I can trust this process, this trust is the foundation for realizing that I can transform my inner beliefs, because it's done into you as you believe. I can transform my beliefs to align with that which is this higher truth, and therefore I live in a more exalted state. So then here's the next part. If I trust that it's all God and it's all divine activity, then I can trust that discomfort too has a place in the big scheme of things. Everybody following with me? That's where we come with divine discomfort. It plays a part, a very vital part, in motivating us to continue to transform and to move forward in consciousness. It also motivates us to do something about circumstances that are abhorrent or that we don't want. It motivates us to do something about it. Otherwise, we would just sit there and just let it continue. So that's where we're coming from this month, this higher perspective of the value of discomfort on our spiritual journey. It's our own inner guidance system that lets us know it's time to move, it's time to change. And so the book of the month is a book by Iyanla Vanzant. Her book is Trust. Trust is the key topic. Mastering the 4 Essential Truths. Trust in self, trust in God, trust in others, trust in life. All right, so let's proceed with the story. This is a true story. Back in the early 1800s, there lived a remarkable woman, Harriet Tubman. And you know, it's Black History Month, so this is a great story to uphold what we're all about here this month. She was born into slavery in the state of Maryland on a plantation. And she experienced the harsh realities of enslaved individuals, the things that they faced daily. And one of the big ones was the way that families were torn apart and sold to other places. And the cries, the pain, the suffering, the sorrow weighed very heavy on her heart. These uncomfortable feelings, experiences, awakened in her a fierce desire for freedom. So you can see that vision of freedom coming forth from that discomfort. It fueled her courage and spurred her into action. So one night she left, leaving everything that she had ever known behind, and set off on a treacherous journey. And you know, today we say, well, you know, the difference between Maryland and Pennsylvania is not that much, you know, because Pennsylvania was the free state that she was headed for. But in those days, it took a long time because there was a lot of calculating and things that had to be done in the process. So during her escape, she was guided by the North Star and that burning desire for freedom. As you can imagine, she encountered many obstacles on the way, faced constant danger of slave hunters. She hid during the day and traveled at night, relying on the kindness, the food, and the shelter of the people who made up the Underground Railroad. And by the way, for those of you who want to learn more about that, Kennett Square has a center for the Underground Railroad. Several of us a few years ago went on that, and it's a really powerful, informative thing of how they, in particular the Quakers, supported the Underground Railroad. So fear and discomfort were present for her each step of the way. You can imagine being on your own, a woman, a Black woman, on her way to freedom and really in unknown territory and not knowing what's going to come next and relying on what. There was some sort of a trust that was taking place within her, trusting the process, trusting her vision, trusting herself. So she pressed on, determination, never faltering. And after months of perilous travel and close encounters, she finally reached the free state of Pennsylvania. Instead of, though, settling into comfort and freedom, something else sparked her on. She was thinking of all of those that she had left behind. And so she became the self-appointed conductor of the Underground Railroad, meaning that she would go down through the Underground Railroad gather more people and lead them to liberation. She did this for years. Can you imagine? She finally had but because she had that vision of freedom, it expanded not just to herself, but to others who she had left behind. So she paved the way because of her discomfort, because she was propelled toward freedom, because she opened her heart to others. She helped countless enslaved people find their way to freedom. Wow, what a story, right? Can you see yourself and maybe certain aspects of your life as can you connect to that story and relate to that and realize there have been many obstacles that you too have overcome? We all have a desire for freedom in one form or another. And a freedom from the bondage of our own minds, if nothing else. And each one of us has within us the same inner resources. We're divine beings, just like Harriet. Inner resources, the courage, the inner strength, the vision to fulfill this great dream, to move forward, to overcome obstacles, and to liberate ourselves. And then in the process, feeling the call to liberate others. And I know that that's why so many of you are here. It's not only your personal liberation, but you're here to support each other. And it's such a beautiful thing. Take a look for a moment around at the room at all of the beautiful souls that you have chosen to share your journey with. We are so, so grateful. And, I just wanted to say Sylvia is back with us. She was with us when we were at Woodmill. We're so happy she's here with us. And I see Nicole brought some friends, too. So way to go, Nicole. We're so happy to see all of you. Yeah, and there might be others, too, that I'm missing. I apologize if I'm missing you. But, it's so great that we come together, that we support each other on this journey of spiritual liberation, which is the ultimate liberation. So when we find ourselves pulled by a vision of freedom of one form or another, what happens to us is we become greater expressions of ourselves, because we have to look within ourselves and draw upon those inner resources that help us to move forward and step outside our comfort zone. Don't you love that quote by Neil Donald Walsh? Life begins at the end of your comfort zone, right? So the thing that I'd like to cover today, these lessons of uncomfort-ability, our abilities to use discomfort for positive change, is the importance of embracing change, recognizing that our resistance to change, because we have to be aware of it in order to overcome it. And the final is feel the fear and do it anyway. One of my favorite phrases. So change, embracing change. The reason why it's important to embrace change is because change is the law of the universe. It's the way that the universe advances. We talked about this already. And one of my favorite quotes that speaks to the power of the law, this change is the law of the universe, is what's called Thomas Trower's masterpiece. Mary Kegelman and I are prayer partners, and we start our prayer off with this particular quote. So listen to this, it's powerful. My mind is a center of divine operation. The divine operation is always for the expansion and fuller expression. And this means the production of something that has something beyond what has gone before, something entirely new, not included in past experience, though proceeding out of it by an orderly sequence of growth. Therefore, the divine cannot change its inherent nature. Let's try again. Therefore, since the divine cannot change its inherent nature, it must operate the same within me. Consequently, in my own special world of which I am the center, it moves forward to produce new conditions, listen to this, always in advance of any that have gone before. Well, that's how we're designed. We're designed to advance in consciousness and create conditions in advance of what has gone before. But it's about advancing in consciousness, becoming freer, fuller, more expanded expressions of our divine selves. So creation's always advancing, and yes, those changes can be uncomfortable. Embracing change, though, is the science of mind and spirit perspective of being our divine selves and flowing, going with that flow of change and supporting each other in that process as well. And we cultivate that ability to flow with the changes by developing and cultivating the observer self. The ability to observe, to witness within ourselves all of the mind chatter that gets in the way, that is showing up, is letting us know what our limiting beliefs are so that we can change them and rise above them. So the observer self is a way to become better at embracing change. If we do embrace change, if we do embrace this advancement of our consciousness on the path of enlightenment, then we're more likely to make choices for change that unlock our true potential and that create a fulfilling life in service to the greater good. I always tack that on because truly, as we support ourselves in moving forward, we're supporting all life. The next one is recognizing resistance to change. So, okay, how do we release resistance when it shows up? It's a really good question, right? Think about Harriet Tubman. She moved beyond resistance, not only because of the pain of bondage, but remember, she was pulled by the vision of freedom, a burning desire for freedom that spurred her into action. Overcame any resistance, any fear that, oh my gosh, if I set off, I don't know where I'm going, and all of the things that could go on in the monkey mind. That burning desire, not only the pain, but the burning desire for freedom. So the initial discomfort in us that's telling us it's time to change is one thing. But then the resistance, what it does is it multiplies the discomfort if we don't act on it. It doubles it up. So that's why it's important to be aware of the resistance to change. And so how do we know that we're clinging on to those bars of our own jail, our uncomfortable comfort zone, right? Fear and doubt. And one way to move beyond fear and doubt is this way. This is what you do. Ready? Doubt out. Faith in its place. I know it looks really silly. I was just, Carla and I had a conversation about this just recently, right? You actually break up the thought form in your energy field by clapping in front of your face. And so I want you to actually clap really hard in front of your face. And then go out. So doubt out, faith in its place. Now notice the energy in your body. What happened? What did you notice? You can speak it out. Yeah, I'm hearing more energy, more open. Awake. I also feel energy flowing through my body when I do that. I feel it all the way down to the tips of my toes and flowing through my legs in particular when I do that. So what we're doing is we're opening ourselves to the flow of energy again. We're removing obstacles by clapping our hands in front of our faces. And that's actually a technique that's shown in our Foundations of Science of Mind class. It's very powerful. So the next time you feel fear and doubt, resistance, Let's do it again. Doubt out, faith in its place. Feel it again. Woo! Just feels so good to me. I just want to do it all day long. All right. The last one is feel the fear and do it anyway. Harriet Tubman was in a state of fear and discomfort throughout her entire journey. But she did it anyway, pulled by the vision. She trusted herself. She trusted the vision. So I'd like you right now to yawn and stretch. Close your eyes and turn within. And ask yourself, what was a time when I wanted to change? The discomfort was so great. And the vision appeared. So I stepped outside of my comfort zone. I went beyond that comfort zone. And then also notice where you placed your trust. And turn to at least 2 other people and have a conversation. Share with each other the time that you stepped beyond your comfort zone. Motivated by the discomfort, pulled by the vision. On and stretch. Yes, yawning and stretching, that's a little bit of neuro wisdom. To bring us back to center, waken us up. Bring all those inner resources into play. Lovely. Oh, the room is just so full of this lovely energy. I love it. Isn't it wonderful to share stories like that? Stories of transcension and overcoming. I love it. So the bottom line is we all have within us these amazing inner resources. Courage, determination, vision to use discomfort. We have the ability to handle discomfort. Uncomfort-ability. We each have it. And as we realize that change is part of the universe, that inner guidance system of discomfort is there for us. It supports us in that advancement in consciousness, that movement beyond circumstances that are not serving us. And so it's good and very good. So I'm trusting that everybody has a renewed understanding, or an even better understanding of the value of discomfort and the reason why we're spending a whole month on it in terms of transforming our lives. And so I just invite you to turn within as we anchor this truth in our very being, understanding that the one life, the one source, the one presence, the one power is that in which we can trust, and therefore we can trust ourselves. And therefore, as we move through life and whatever a current discomfort might be in our lives, that we have the inner resources, we have all that's necessary within us, the very divine presence within us, to move forward, to advance in consciousness, and to transform circumstances into that which is better, that which supports not only our lives, but supports all others as we together co-create heaven on earth, a world that works for all. I give my thanks for this truth. I release this word into the action of the universal law that surrounds us, that beautiful creative medium, that field of all possibility and potentiality moving into expression. And I invite all of us to affirm it with a powerful
yes, and so it is.